Falshang Falso Faux Productions.
Nova Scotia.
The capital of Nova Scotia is Halifax. The other two largest cities are Cape Breton and Sydney.
This is the flag of Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia symbols.
Nova Scotia's tree is the red spruce. Nova Scotia's flower is the trailing arbutus.
Nova Scotia's bird is the osprey. Nova Scotia's mineral is a stilbrite. This is a stilbrite.
Nova Scotia's fossil is the Hylonomus liali. This is not a living animal. It has been dead for 312 million years. Nova Scotia's gemstone is agate. This is a political map of Nova Scotia. As you can see, it is east of Quebec and New Brunswick. Its coordinates are 45 degrees north, 63 degrees west. Here you see a physical map of Nova Scotia. The green areas are those closer to sea level, while the tan ones are higher up.
This is a population map of Nova Scotia. As you can see, there was a big spike in population in between 1930 and 1990.
Nova Scotia has a continental climate and is located in a mid-temperate zone.
Here you see a temperature map of Nova Scotia based on months. It is in Fahrenheit.
In 1605, Port Royal became the first European settlement in the Americas when it was settled by the French. Nova Scotia was later settled by the British. The city of Halifax, Nova Scotia was founded in 1749. In 1784, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Cape Breton became separate colonies. In 1820, Cape Breton Island became part of Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia became the first British colony to gain the right of self-government in 1848. When two ships collided in 1917, much of Halifax was blown up in the Halifax explosion. Women gained the right to vote in 1918. As you can see, Nova Scotia has a long and varied history filled with interesting events.
The main First Nations people of Nova Scotia were the Mi'kmaq. They are indigenous to many of the eastern provinces and Quebec. They lived in wigwams which looked like this.
Nova Scotia has a resource-based economy, which means that it relies on its natural resources and man-made resources to run its economy. The average household earns $66,300 American dollars per year, which is more than most U.S. states. The major industries are fishing, forestry, coal mining, and manufacturing. This is a chart showing the percentages of energy use in Nova Scotia. As you can see, most of it is used in space heating, lighting, water heating, and auxiliary motors. A smaller percentage is used up on auxiliary equipment and cooling.
This is a chart of the ethnic groups of Nova Scotia. As you can see, a high percentage of the population is either Scottish or English, whilst a smaller yet still large population is Irish or French, and a small percentage of the ethnic groups is Aboriginal, German, or other.
17.5% of Nova Scotia's energy comes from renewable sources: wind, hydro, solar, and biomass.
Annapolis Valley is important for agriculture in Nova Scotia. Livestock and livestock feed are some of the most important products. Chickens, cows, and pigs are raised in Annapolis Valley, a center of agriculture in Nova Scotia. Cards. Oxford, Nova Scotia is Canada's capital of blueberries. Nova Scotia is Canada's leading producer of gypsum, which is a soft material used to make things like blackboard chalk. Nova Scotia miners used to mine coal, but because of the cost to dig it up, all of the coal mines closed. They also produce a little sand, cement, clay, and gold. Trees harvested in Nova Scotia are mainly turned into paper, pulp, and furniture. Dairy farming is 1/4 of all farming in Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia also accounts for about half of Canada's blueberries. Some of the natural resources are assorted minerals, coal, oil, and natural gas, fish, good soil, and lumber.
Hockey is the main sport in Nova Scotia, as is usual in Canada. This province is home to the Halifax Rainmen of the Canadian Hockey League. Halifax is one of the main cultural centres of Canada, with such places as Nova Scotia College of Art and Design University, Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, Ships Company Theatre, and the Symphony Nova Scotia. Some of Nova Scotia's festivals include Stan Rogers Folk Festival, Celtic Colours, and the Nova Scotia Gaelic Mod. Animals of Nova Scotia. Garter snake.
What does the fox say?
Here's a fox.
Bald eagle.
Beaver.
Blue jay.
This is a moose.
This is a goldenrod flower.
Mayflower.
Red spruce tree. Nova Scotia's luscious nature, vivid history, and extensive tourist attractions make it the perfect place to put your sports store. These reasons will create tons of sales and great marketing.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Ninth day of Christmas, on the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 days, days of milk and 7 days of 6 days of milk. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not hit a pear tree. On the 9th, on the 8th, on the 7th, with boughs of holly, here we come the swelling sing among the lays of
Falshang Falso Faux Productions.